Hey guys, welcome into Wine Diplomat. My name is Eureka, and today we're going to talk about buying a bottle of wine based on one thing, and that is a critic's score. So, when you're walking down the wine aisle, sometimes there might be like a big starburst that says 95 points by some magazine or some critic, right? And kind of we'll get into what that means. To do that, to help us today, our star of the show is Altavins Almodi Terra Alta Garnacha. So all what that means is this is a Spanish wine from the region of Terra Alta. It's by a company called Altavins, and the brand is Almodi. So 100% Garnacha is the grape. It's not a blend of any kind. It's just Garnacha. So I'm excited because I love Garnacha. We will taste this wine, and really I want to take a look at what the critic has said about this wine. And in fact, there's a nice big old sticker, and that's why I bought this wine in particular. Is it's got a nice big old sticker that says 90 points. So what does that really mean? All right, so just like a movie critic might give you an opinion about how good or bad or what was awesome about that movie, really all that is an opinion. It's a clue. It's a piece of the puzzle, but ultimately you're the star. You're the person that is going to watch the movie or drink the wine, and it's really your opinion that matters. So just like a movie critic or a music critic, you want to find if there's a publication or if there's a website or something that you trust, and they say, hey, this is going to be a good wine, you should try it. When you do, sometimes you're not going to agree with that critic. That doesn't mean they're a bad critic. It just means you guys like two different things. So throughout the time, you might find someone you really do like and do trust. Like on our channel, I talk about a lot of these wines. I'm going to give my opinion. It's really, you're the star of the show, though. So at least you'll know where I'm coming from, what I'm saying, and when you taste the wine, you'll know if you like the same wine as I do, and vice versa, right? So let's get into this wine, Altavins Almodi Terra Alta. I'm going to pour a glass. And we'll dig in. But first, let's take a look at the critic notes.
A fresh and light red berry nose with a gentle stony edge. The palate offers a fresh red fruit core with a streak of strawberry flavor.
Okay, so what does all that mean? Now, first and foremost, the English language, as many words as there are to describe things, if you read a lot of tasting notes, these critics have to come up with 10,000 tasting notes as a profession over the years. There's only so many ways you can say it's got jammy fruit and a little bit of minerality. Okay, so the part of it's the fun part sometimes is reading some of these tasting notes and reading some of these critic opinions and seeing how many different words they could come up for the same thing. But as loquacious as these critics are, again, you and your taste buds are the only thing that matter if something's good or something isn't. So let's get into this wine, though. 100% Garnacha. When we're looking at Garnacha, if you're not familiar with it, it's typically grown in France as Grenache. It's also grown in Italy as Cannonau. And today this is going to be Grenache. So, sorry, Garnacha, right? Very similar words, but the Terra Alta DO, the place that this is grown in, this is in Catalonia on the kind of eastern part of Spain, and you are getting that Mediterranean climate. What that means particularly is hot summers and cold winters. So that hot summer, what I'm looking for in Garnacha is that big, bright kind of strawberries and cherries, Garnacha can also sometimes have a peppery aroma to it. And this, yeah, oh yeah, this has like, right, so the critic said you get this like kind of a stony edge, right? Which that minerality, that, yeah, it's kind of a crushed pepper or like a dust. This, I mean this in a good way. It's kind of a unique, dusty, yeah, like crushed rock kind of flavor to it. It sounds weird, but I see where they're getting at. You know, it isn't just the strawberries, although they are there, and it's not just the cherries, but they are there. It's it's interesting, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit in to kind of get the shock out of the way. All right, it's pretty good even on the first taste, but let's dig back in here. Right, this isn't just jammy fruit. This is has a little bit of good complexity to it. So on some of the other videos, I've talked about a cocktail wine versus a food wine. Like my guru kind of gave me that those lexicon, right? So a cocktail wine would be just really jammy, really fruity. You're not really thinking about a food pairing. It's really just you might even chill it a little bit, right? You might even have it a little bit of cold because there's no thought to it being an ingredient alongside a big meal or anything. It's usually just you're sitting on the couch, you're drinking some wine. Okay. This is a wine that's kind of in the middle, right? It's fruity, but it's not just that one note. It's got some complexity to it. Yeah. So good tannins too. Tannins being the things that aren't the fruit, right? The tannins come from like the wood. So there's a little bit of a, it's not bitterness, but it kind of grabs those proteins on your tongue and gives them it's like gives it some texture when you're drinking the wine. It gives you a unique mouthfeel. I mean, this is the kind of stuff, this is why we drink wine. It isn't just grape juice. It has sensory overload and it gives you texture and all these crazy things, right? Yeah, yeah, I dig this wine. I mean, the critic gave this a 90 out of 100 rating, um, which is, if 100's perfect, 90's pretty close. It's an enjoyable wine. As far as price, I haven't brought that up yet. It's about $20, 19.99 is what I picked it up at my Total Wine down the road here. Um, but this is kind of what I'm looking for in a better quality Garnacha. Oh yeah, I mean you could do this. You could do this with steak. You could do this with pastas, with nice hearty, uh, like if you had hearty sausage or a nice thick sauce. I mean this would go really well, but it's also pretty enjoyable just by itself. Color wise, it's not pitch black. This is like a kind of a garnet red, ruby, bright red. You can see through it. It's a medium bodied wine. It's not, it isn't just hitting you over the head with big alcohol and big fruit. This is classy, man. I feel kind of classy here. But it's also not that pretentious. Like it isn't just, uh, earth and dirt and wood and things like that. Like solid, I'd recommend this wine. Yeah, I can't wait to drink the rest of this off camera. Yeah. Oh man, I'd invite some of your more knowledgeable wine friends over. Yeah, absolutely. I would do that. So I mean, it's another one of those things. Sometimes you're not going to agree with the wine critic, and sometimes you will. Um, in this case, I was led down a good path, man. They're giving it 90 out of 100. I don't put points on wines, but that's pretty good. Yeah, I would definitely buy this wine again. I will love drinking the rest of this. We're actually making some pot roast right now, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's a nice hearty pot roast with those the potatoes, right? The hardiness of the carrots, right? And that nice like kind of like au jus, that sauce, that gravy. I'm not a chef, but you know, my wife is way better at that. So she's making this phenomenal pot roast. I think this is going to be a really good wine that's going to go with it. But let me know in the comments, kind of what's your, if you like Garnacha, what are some of your food pairings that you like to do with it, right? Another thing you can do for us while you're here, you've taken your time, we really appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It takes a couple seconds for you, but it means a lot to us, and it helps us as we grow and grow. And if you really like the video, share it with someone. Let someone get your wine buddies in here, or better yet, get the people that are just starting into wine, right? So for all of us here at Wine Diplomat, I'll raise a glass. We'll cheers to you. This was pretty fun. We'll keep doing this through the month. We'll buy by the label like we did last week. We bought by the points. But if there's any other comments or things you guys have, any video ideas you have, drop those in the comments. So from all of us here at Wine Diplomat, again, I'm Eureka, and keep enjoying the wine, and we'll see you next week.